car chats on my way to school. I am not going to school right now. I am headed out for a car, and I'm going out for the morning. Oh, the car behind me has, when we were kids, if there was a headlight out, we would say padiddle. So padiddle. I don't really have my my headlights on right now, but the car behind me does, and one is out. So good morning, and thank you for coming to my channel. I really appreciate it. This is a live video, and I'm just going to do a car chat this morning, and I'm going to talk a little bit. First of all, I kind of made these videos, the car chat, morning car chat, to share the weather in New Hampshire, and we have had very strange weather. We've had some really, really hot days. Last week we got up to like 85, 90, and then all of a sudden the next day it'll be a lot cooler. So today is a little bit cooler. I actually wore a cool outfit, well, let's see, an outfit for warmer weather, but I actually brought a sweatshirt, and I even threw in my duffel bag because just in case. I do not like being cold, so I have a few extra clothes if needed. So I'm headed down to my daughter's house, actually, to see the grandkids. So I thought I would come on here and just say hello to my YouTube friends, and it's not a normal time. I'm just coming on, but it is this is the route that I would take going to school. It's kind of that same route. And so what am I doing in life? Like this morning I had one teaching class for VIP Teacher. VIP Teacher is a company that I worked for several years ago and worked really hard to get this job. And you had to make videos, everything had to be just right. There were all kinds of rules to it, and you had to get your you had to have a 4-year college degree, and you had to be an English speaker from, America, and you had to be able to teach in the US. So say somebody lives in another country, but they could work in the US if they lived here or if they were here. And then you also have to get a TESOL certificate, which is teaching English as a second language. So then you had to make all these videos, had to get approved by the company, and you had to jump through a lot of hoops. I remember the days when I worked really hard to get that job, and I was cracking up at myself because you had to kind of show energy and show props, show that you're a good teacher and everything, and you had to make a video, it had to look good, and then you got approved, or some people didn't get approved for the company, so I got approved, and I felt like, wow, this is awesome. And then there was a really awesome community of teachers from that same company. They actually did conventions. And then when 2020 happened, the night our school got shut down, it was March 13th, 2020. I'll never forget it. I had a flight booked to Atlanta, and I was planning on going to the event, and I had to just say I'm not going because, COVID is sweeping the country, and, we didn't know what was going to happen. My biggest thing was not that I would get the illness, but that I would get stuck somewhere. Like, they'd fly me there, but I wouldn't be able to get back. And I have a family and everything, and so I was, with the uncertainty, I just didn't go. But I regret it. I wish I had gone. But that was a long time ago, and I didn't work for the company for a few years. They kind of shut down for a little while, and I don't know if they completely shut down, but they changed, and then a lot of people pivoted to new positions. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thumbs up, thanks guys. And so then this summer I was looking for a summer job, and I'm like, I have a friend that works for the same company. She's doing well. She gets a lot of bookings, and I will just go ahead and try it. So I've been doing that, and so I'll open like say 30 slots. They're half-hour slots, and I get about half of them filled in. So, I'm really planning to do it for the summer, and I don't know what'll happen once school starts, and it's just really hard to do both because I would have to get up really early. What I did before was I got up really early, taught like 2 classes every morning, and then I would teach classes on Friday nights and Saturday mornings, and sometimes Saturday night also, because our Friday night and Saturday night are their big booking days, because those are their days that they're home. And it's just so amazing. Like, I'm going to tell you, this morning I opened up my class. This is a level 1 little kid. I think he's probably, 4 or 5. And both of his parents are sitting there. Like, I turned on my computer and they were there 20 minutes ahead. Both parents, I could hear them in the background talking. So this is how it's different. In America, we just like bring our kids to the playground and we just let them play, and we don't really expect them to learn much when they're really little. But in China, like, it's so important that they would pay for this class. Both parents are there with the child. I can hear the parents in the background while I'm teaching, kind of prompting the child so that he's following my directions correctly. And that's what, not that Chinese do everything right, but I feel like, it's one extreme or the other. Like, Americans are just like all about playing and having fun, and then the Chinese are all about being serious. We kind of would like a little bit of a balance. But, it's an example of how serious they take education for even the younger ones. So it's something to think about. More parents in America need to take an active role in their kids' education, just saying. And I'm probably speaking to the choir. People that come to my channel know me well, and they know how I think. And I'm an online teacher. I'm also working on a tutoring business, and I am looking for 3 to 4 clients for the upcoming school year. I will be doing in-person teaching, but I also would like to build my tutoring business and reach out to people that want to do pre-algebra, algebra 1, and geometry for the school year, or for a high school credit. Pre-algebra could be getting ready for algebra. That could be junior high. But if you have any kids of those ages and you have needs in those types of classes, please post below. Please let me know. I can teach. What I do is I teach online on Zoom, and so it can be anybody, anywhere that I can teach. And what I'm planning to do is do a platform where I'm going to make some videos that go along with my topics, and so kids can watch the video, but they can also reach out to me as a teacher for questions. And so this would be for students that, they don't have to be super duper math students, but they have to have a little bit of a desire to do the work. I will guide them through the work. You just do the work. And having a willing spirit. I don't really have a magic wand to help kids that don't want to do anything, which is sort of an epidemic in our country. But if you have a student that wants to do the work, no matter what their level, I can help them. As long as they have a little bit of want to, we can work on this together. So my business is Can Do Math Tutoring. So please reach out to me below. I had a website. I'm changing things around because I don't want to be spending a whole bunch of money to get just a couple of students, right? So I feel like if I just keep casting the net out, I will get the students that I'm looking for. I already have some students, and I will be reaching out to them. Maybe they have referrals or whatever. But that's how we're doing it. So everybody needs help with math these days. And if you keep your young person in the high school in America, their proficiency rate is going to be 40%. Unless they're self-motivated. Maybe they'll be one of the ones that's 100% because they utilize all of the tools available to them. You know, there are some students that are self-motivated, but if your student just plugs in and joins the crowd and just gets pulled along by the status quo, they're going to be 40% proficient in math and English, and maybe even less. Sometimes the problem that's happening right now is kids don't know what they don't know. And they go in, they get A's in their math class, they don't realize that this is actually dumbed down, and this is not even what they were teaching 20 years ago. It's watered down. It's easier. You're not even learning as much as, one generation ago. So if you have students that want to be a little more serious about their schoolwork, those are the students I'm looking for. Not that you have the ability and that you're like gifted or anything, but that you want to do the work, you have the willingness, and you don't want to be part of the status quo. Those are the people I'm looking for. And also, this would help you in your going to college. If you have a student that wants to go to college, or if you have a student, hey, your student wants to go to be an LNA, you still need your math skills. If your student wants to be a plumber, there's a lot of math skills involved in that. Your student wants to be an entrepreneur, you need some math skills for that. So reach out to me, let me know what your needs are, and we can work on that together. So that's my business, Can Do Math Tutoring. So it's really overcast. What's the weather like where you are? My heart goes out to, thank you for the thumbs up, I really appreciate it. My heart is broken for all of the stories that I'm hearing out of Texas, and there's flooding. As of today, there's flooding, and it's just all over the country, and I can't even imagine what these people are going through. And I just read a story this morning of a large family. I think they said a family of 9, that they crawled up into the attic of the house, and they survived the whole flood. So that was a blessing. I love reading success stories rather than the tragic stories. And, I do personally, my son he had a ski accident 2 years ago, and he passed away on the mountains in New Hampshire, and I can hardly talk about it. And, when it's personal, it hurts like the dickens. There's nothing like your loved one having an accidental death like that. It's just beyond words, unfathomable, and you never really recover completely from it. You just learn to live with the shock and horror of the whole thing. And when I think of Can Do Math Tutoring, it's kind of funny because my son, he was one that he loved math. Out of all my kids, he probably loved math the most. And he got help when he went to the Christian school. He had a teacher that helped him almost every day because I was there working on my classes for the next day, and he would get help from his teacher. And it just breaks my heart that he never got to, get as far as he was going. He wanted to be a doctor. He was hoping to be a neurosurgeon, and he was on his way. He was working in a hospital. He was working for doctors as a surgical technician, and they loved him there, and he loved his job. And so it's just a really sad thing to think about. But I believe that, the academic skills, that's what our kids are missing. Everybody's got problems with their social problems, mental health problems. And I think that, when you have success and you work hard at something, it really heals a lot of the hard things in your life. You know, you rise above the hard things. Maybe you had a hard, childhood situation. I like to follow the lady on YouTube. Her name is, I don't even know her name, but her YouTube channel is The Crappy Childhood Fairy. And she ministers to people that had a very hard childhood. And she teaches people how to overcome. And she has thousands of viewers. So many people are suffering with tragedies in their young life. And those people that overcome are the ones who just learn to do great things in spite of their troubles. So I believe that can-do math tutoring can be a good thing for overcoming the hard times, the hard things that people have endured as children or, young adults even. Just reach out to me. Let me know what your needs are and see if we can work out a plan. So today I'm just driving. It's very overcast. The weather is decent. Like, it's warm, but not too warm, not too cool. The town that I live in, we are having a town fair coming up this weekend. We're having a town fair, so we'll be seeing some activities for that, and I'm looking forward to that. We are also, I'll be doing my classes online, and my desire would be to do the math tutoring instead of the Chinese English classes. But I have to tell you that the model that there is for that type of teaching English is what I'm kind of going for. You pay a price, you get tutored on a topic. But what I'm going to do is you get some tutoring, but I'm also going to present a curriculum. Okay, so I have 2 students where I tutor, but I also present a curriculum so they can work through the curriculum as well. And so but then there's also tutoring where you just help the person with their own work. So there's lots of things that people might need help with. So I'm working on putting together that situation where I have a place to go. I'm going to open another YouTube channel where I can put my tutorials for the math classes, and I'm going to put my tutorials there instead of putting them on my regular channel. And I'm also going to have a platform where the parents can pay me through the electronic means, and then I'm going to, just kind of work those things together, have a calendar where the people can book on my calendar. And I have a student right now, and I'm seeing how to put my policies together. Like, if the student cancels within a short period of time, I am not going to promise a makeup class. But if I cancel, something comes up for me and I cancel, I will definitely do a makeup class. I'm also working on funding, like pay me 1 month ahead. That's what I do right now. And then I give a calendar of when our tutoring days are going to be. I also give a report on what we did that day for the class. And if I put I'm also going to record with Zoom, so I'll be able to send that video to the person I tutored, and they can review the video if they need help. Like, if they need to review some of the terms, I don't have to keep saying it 50 million times. They can just go back to the video. So this does require a little bit of self-desire on the student's part. A lot of students today, they want education to be like a conveyor belt. You get on the conveyor belt and it just takes you where you need to go. But education really needs to be that the student is participating, the student is learning. This is what was happening, when my mom was in school. You go, you listen to the teacher, and the teacher is the wisdom person, right? And then the student listens, writes everything down, goes home and studies. But nowadays, kids want to just jump on the conveyor belt and away they go without really having to do anything. Just bring your backpack and your Chromebook and you're good to go. So anyway, thank you for coming to my video. I appreciate it. And I will, I'm going to close out this video. And thank you for coming. Thank you for the thumbs up. And I will see you next time.